Good morning, I'm Brendan McLaughlin. ABC Action News has a breaking news update. The Tampa Police Department about to update us on the search for 33-year-old Apryl Foster, who disappeared a week ago after a night out in Ybor City. Let's go to that press conference live now.
A.N., last name is Dugan, D-U-G-A-N. This morning, our detectives uncovered some more information on the Apryl Foster case. We have been looking for Apryl for quite some time. We're very concerned. We have been concerned. We are now at a point where we're looking at a week where we have been searching for Apryl. The new developments are that we have searched numerous cameras in the Ybor City area. It has been a painstaking process. We have gone over 50 cameras. The businesses in Ybor City have been very cooperative. We looked at city cameras, county cameras. We've had help from the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office. We have uncovered some video that shows Apryl's car that night. The vehicle that she was driving, that red Chevy Aveo that we have been looking for, it was last seen eastbound on 7th Avenue from 18th Street. So that is a new development where we now have her vehicle traveling on 7th Avenue. We're not able to tell whether it's Apryl driving the car or not, but it's important information. We also are able to release a picture of Apryl that night. And Laura McElroy, our PIO's office, they will be giving you that information. We now have a picture of Apryl that night. Apryl was wearing her hair in a double bun. It's a very unique hairstyle. She had a hooded black and gray zip-up sweatshirt. The black and gray stripes were horizontal, and she had black work pants on. As I said earlier, we have spent countless hours reviewing video. It's a very slow, methodical process. The businesses in Ybor City, the public and private entities have been very cooperative. They've been very open with us, and this would not have been possible without their assistance. You have any questions for me?
You mentioned the car was on 7th Avenue going east. Is there a timestamp on it? What time?
We don't have that. We don't have that information yet, but we are releasing the fact that her car was last seen eastbound because we think that's vital. It shows that her car was traveling. Okay?
So the date and timestamp you believe is not correct. You're working to verify that.
Yeah, we're working to verify the date and timestamp. That's why we are unsure about the exact time.
Do you believe that it was that night?
Yes, but we are speculating that it's an ongoing investigation, as you know.
And you said it was eastbound, headed towards...
It had turned from 18th Street and went eastbound on 7th Avenue.
Do you plan to see if any of the businesses between that location and her residence might have surveillance video along any of those possible routes that you guys were considering?
Yes, our search continues. The problem with video evidence is it's real time, and you have to painstaking review of it, and it takes time. And as we develop potential, and I stress that it's potential path of travel, that leads to other speculation, and so you have to review all these potential paths of travel and when you're reviewing that video. So yes, we are going to go through this potential path of travel to see if that leads to any more clues.
You mentioned you couldn't tell who was driving it. Could you tell whether there was more than one person in the car?
No.
No, you couldn't tell?
No, we couldn't tell. I don't want to speculate. So I don't want to say she was alone. I don't want to say it was her. It's just complete speculation. Where it's such a distinct vehicle that we're pretty sure it's her car. That is a unique Nebraska license plate on it. It's a very unique car.
What does this discovery mean for you? What does this mean for the case?
It just gives us more of what she was doing that night, or what she was potentially doing. And we are working, we're reviewing. This morning, we took a unique approach in this investigation where we sat down with her mother and father. We gathered their friends. That's unprecedented in my experience here at the police department. We did a groupthink approach. We laid out everything that we had, and then we asked them, is there anything that we're missing? Is there some type of habit that she may have had? Is there some type of thing that she might want to do? Is there a place she may go to reflect on her by herself? Was there a favorite thing she wanted to do, a favorite food that she might stop at a restaurant on the way home? Just looking for anything, laying out there what we have, hoping that as a group we could come together and maybe find something else in our search for Apryl.
Did you find anything that might help you?
We have a few things that we need to explore. It's an ongoing investigation. Nothing. It gave us some things to look into. Unfortunately, a lot of things that we're spending time on it is not coming up with anything.
So far, you haven't released any surveillance video. Would there be any value to putting out some of these images of her, how she appeared that night?
We will be releasing a picture that was captured in Ybor City of Apryl that night. So we will be able to tell you what Apryl was looking, what she looked like, how her hairstyle, and what she was wearing. And that, to us, is key, that we want everyone, because there's been various pictures released about Apryl. And that has helped us, but I think it's more important that people see what Apryl was wearing that night and what she looked like. And so anybody who was in Ybor City that night, or anybody that recognizes her from anywhere, will hopefully this is going to lead us to more clues.
The fact that we're at that week point right now, 1 week out, what does that mean in an investigation, in a missing person investigation? Where do you go at this point?
Well, you keep searching. The concern, you want to make sure that, she's not hidden in plain sight. Is the vehicle hidden in plain sight? What I mean by that, have you searched everywhere and you're so focused on one or two things that you're missing the obvious? And that was what we wanted to accomplish this morning by pulling in her friends and family and say, this is what we got. Is there anything that you can think of that we're missing? And that was, I think our investigators are their big concern is we're starting to very much worry about Apryl, and we want to know, is there anything we're missing? And have a fresh look, a fresh perspective of the investigation.
After we get this image of her out there from that night, would it be, a good idea for any businesses along those possible routes to, if they can go back a week, look? Would you...
We're working on with every business down there. We're getting a tremendous amount of cooperation. I could not be happier the way the business community of Ybor City has responded to this situation.
Is there more video that I know you've been working double overtime and going through all of this with people. Is there any video that you just haven't gotten to, or that there's still hope?
Yes, we're continuing to search through video, and as we go through video, we're hoping to stumble upon more. There is no stone that's being left unturned. I think we have tried to make Apryl's family comfortable with that. And like this morning, our detectives have kept in close contact with the family. The meeting this morning was put forth by Chief Castor. I can tell you that this is a full court press from the Tampa Police Department from the top on down.
The chief mentioned the other day about using the helicopter to fly possible routes between Ybor City and Brandon, where she lives. Have you then sort of veered off into other paths, the possibility that perhaps she took a wrong turn or got on the wrong exit or something like that?
Yes, we continue to search common paths of travel, but at the same time we have put a citywide search. There's no reason at this point to think that maybe she made a left-hand turn, a right-hand turn. There's no reason. She could be absolutely anywhere. And our search for Apryl, yesterday we had our bicycle squads go through Ybor City for a third time. We are very confident that that vehicle is not in Ybor City. But we've done a third search because we want to make sure we're not missing something. We're sending fresh officers in there in that search to make sure that we're not missing someone. That car and Apryl could be anywhere at this point. And that's what's key, is when people are driving to and from work anywhere in the state right now. We're hoping that people are going to spot that car or spot Apryl, preferably spot Apryl, but anything that anyone can give us, whether they think it's insignificant or not, that's what we need from people.
Are you surprised that there seems to be no clue?
Yes. Anything else?
What about closer to her residence in Brandon? Are deputies involved in that search? Are you just working with them? Are you guys doing that out there? Or?
Yes, we're doing a very coordinated effort with the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, but we've had some of our own people go out there. The Family and Friends has gone out there. We have asked people to search, and they've told us they've already searched it. We'll search again. And I think this, like I said earlier, this is a full court press. Do you want to say anything?
Well, we probably sound a little bit like a broken record, but number one, we just want you to know that we're very pleased with all the efforts. In fact, we're amazed at the efforts that the Tampa Police Department has put forth in talking with the investigators and detectives. Peggy and I are just absolutely amazed and thankful for the work, and we're thankful for the press. You all have been compassionate with us in this time of as much stress and trouble as we've ever had in our lives. But we just keep coming back to our faith in the Lord, that He's not wringing His hands on this, and He loves her more than we do. And so we're thankful that we have that, and it keeps our heads straight. But we love Apryl. We love Apryl,
and you have been very gentle with us, and we thank you, but we are literally inundated by phone calls now. And at first, it was very comforting, and many of you will send me psychiatric time because you've counseled with me, you've been kind to me. But at this point, we're going to ask you to contact Laura.
Or the Tampa media.
Yeah. Because we just can't take the phone calls anymore. And, sometimes we've rested with, we know people are out there searching. Every time we go out, I run into somebody that is searching for her. But sometimes you have to go out and look, and you need some energy to do that, and then it just takes energy to weep and worry, and yes, we're putting our faith in the Lord. We do know that the Lord loves her more than I love her even, and so we have faith that she is going to be found. I know some of you have asked about the ladies and going over. We're just feeding her cats, her ladies, and right now I'm just gonna. It's hard to go into her home, but we play with them and just wait for Apryl to come home and take care of her ladies again. So that's kind of where we're at with that right now.
Talking to her friends, watching her friends, being able to talk to them and see them searching and how much they care for her. What has that been like?
Oh, like having a part of Apryl here. In fact, little Rachel, we've talked so many times a day, and I said, well, I guess now you have to take over Apryl's habits, and you better check in with me, or I'll be calling you every morning and every night. And bless her heart, I get the text, okay, good night, Mama. And so, her friends, Ybor City, the Tampa Police, the Gonsmart family, the Eulalie family, the people in Brandon have just been, it is just such an embrace. And I know somebody made the comment last night, gee, you sound like the Tampa Chamber of Commerce. Well, you know what? I should be, because you all have loved us and been kind to us and been respectful of us. And I've watched these cases throughout the year, and the media has dogged them, but your media has been so wonderful to us. And the police department has not left us out of a loop. And so we just are thankful for everybody. I mean, every place we turn, somebody will say, I mean, we had a lady this morning walk up and say, "Oh my gosh, you're the lady on the TV." And she goes, "I don't want to bother you." She was at our hotel, but we just prayed. We just stopped and prayed. So
We also want to mention that we shouldn't forget about the, I think it's $15,000 reward for information leading to finding April. So I think we ought to continue to announce that or make that known that, you know, that's maybe someone might know something that could report that. So.
And I just look at this picture, and I just have to say it. I mean, she just had the greatest sense, she has the greatest sense of humor. And I'm going to tell you, there is going to be payback when she shows up. And we have all released these pictures of her because, you know, the one I took of her that day, she fought with me about, "Don't take that picture. Why, Mom?" And then she finally said, "Okay, I'm only going to allow you to have this picture because I know you're going back to Texas and nobody will ever see it." And now this one with her. So anyway, that's just kind of her sense of humor, but she loved Star Wars, so she went with the Leia. And sometimes she wore it on top of her head, but she liked her Leia look.
Thank you, Chief.
Peggy, can you talk about your sense of, you know, holding out hope yet as things
You know, I can, Kendra. In the last few days, for both of us, the Lord, I mean, I always feel like Craig kind of gets left out, but the Lord just laid in my heart, I love her more than you do. I am hugging you right now, and you just have to be patient and trust in my perfect timing. And you know, my faith is such that I can do that. So, you know, he sacrificed his son, and so he understands the pain, and so he knows how much I can handle, and so I've got to trust. And is it easy? Oh, no, not at all.
All right, you're hearing from Craig and Peggy Beeman, the parents of missing Apryl Foster, 33 years old, who disappeared a week ago in Ybor City. They are a little overwhelmed, but expressing a lot of gratitude for the treatment they've received from the media, from law enforcement, and the community. Before that, we heard from the Assistant Police Chief of the Tampa Police Department, Brian Dugan, the frustration and worry evident in his voice as he talked about meticulously going over 50 different security cameras in the area. All they really came up with so far to announce was an image of her car, her red Chevy Aveo, heading eastbound on 7th Avenue. There's also a new picture of Apryl from that night with a distinctive hairdo and a black sweatshirt that's striped and hooded. So we will have those on our website at abcactionnews.com. Meanwhile, a second vigil scheduled at Eulalie tonight, continuing coverage, including photographs and the description of Apryl's car at abcactionnews.com. Good afternoon.